Yes, perfect. Okay, welcome to our Wednesday night team training. And tonight we're going to go over signing distributors because, as many of you may know, we're in our last month to earn those builder bonuses and quick start period. But if you're new to the business, you have your first 3 months to do it. So this will also help you as well. So if you have never seen me on a Zoom before, my name's Jillian. I've been doing the business since last August. I'm a diamond leader. My team is awesome. We're crushing it. And I'm part of this bigger team, which is great. And yeah, so I'm super happy to be here. And then we've got Jess here tonight, who's kind of gonna chime in if I have any missed points that, because Jess is a really good distributor signer, and all the stuff that I learned is from her. And Shannon. Okay, so we're gonna kind of just get started right away with where do we find distributors? So where do I get my leads from? So I have a lot of different ways that I find distributors, and these are, your potential business partners. So these are people that you want to either help make an extra income. They could be your friends, they could be acquaintances, or maybe people that you don't know, but you happen to see potential in. So in this business, we have a lot of intentional messaging and a lot of reach outs that we need to do in order to grow our team. So people don't always just kind of come to us, right? We need to be the ones that are reaching out to them. So a lot of my distributor leads come from those direct messages that I'm sending. And to give you an idea of how many messages in a day, for example, trying to hit like that 10 message per day is really going to set you up for a month of signing, maybe say like 3 to 5 distributors. Okay. So if you're not hitting the 10 a day, and that's kind of the goal that you have for yourself, depending on if you're wanting to do this full time versus part time, and you want to be a leader versus, just a distributor, then that's what you're going to want to focus on. So I get a lot of leads from HAPs, obviously. And I'm going to say HAPs because we always say HAPs. But it's so much more than just putting up a distributor HAP. So for example, you can ask somebody to share a post that's like a distributor post, and people might comment on that and they might like it. And you reach out to those people, of course, just like you would any other HAP, or if you're new, host a post when somebody shares a post on their wall for you. But you also have all this potential in people that are willing to share a post for you. So a lot of the people that I'm messaging is from my giveaway or my product HAPs that I'm getting up. So I go and ask the people that were willing to share a post on their wall if they would be interested in doing this business with me. And usually I try and make some kind of point as to why. So say the post they put up had just like a bazillion comments, then I'm like, you have a great network. So people like to hear a complimentary thing that is specific to them, right? So whenever I'm looking for potential in somebody, I think about the things that are going to be potential in this business. And one of those things is you have a great network. And not everybody has that coming into this. Like I certainly didn't. And it is something you can grow and something you can develop. But when you have supportive friends already, that's awesome. So I always point that out. Something else I look for is, you post just like we post. So I'm seeing a lot of like selfies on your wall. I'm seeing some inspirational quotes, or maybe them using like just any old product in their day-to-day lives and posting about it. So when I see that kind of stuff, I'm like, this person could benefit from this business because they're already doing what we do, but they don't get paid for it, and we do. So that's another thing I look for when I'm kind of creeping those people that are posting for me. So the same thing can be kind of said for any kind of cold messages that you're sending, which is basically when you're sending a message to somebody who has not interacted with you in any way, whether it's on a post or a story or whatever. They're just on your friends list, or maybe even a friend of a friend, and you have seen their profile and you want to message them. So the same thing can be said if you check out their profile and you see something that stands out to you, you want to be honest with people. Nobody is going to appreciate a message that comes to them that isn't genuine. So if you're not taking the time, even if it's like 30 seconds, to quickly scroll through their Facebook feed and, specifically mention something that you notice about them, they're not going to take you seriously or even be necessarily open to information. So that's something I also like to do, is to point out specifics. Many of the distributors that I signed, I saw them posting stuff like enjoying my Tim Hortons coffee in the morning, or, Monday morning selfies or something like that. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, this is like literally what we do. Why aren't you in this business? So that's been very, very helpful. And then, okay, so like I said, creeping profiles is definitely a thing. A lot of the time, people will be posting about, I have no money, or I'm so stressed because my car broke down, or I just lost my job, or whatever. You're seeing this kind of stuff popping up on your newsfeed. And you're like, you know what? Like, this business has helped me, or I'm working towards a goal in this business that is going to help me. And, maybe this could help somebody else. And so those are the kinds of people that I am more than happy to reach out to and offer this opportunity, because I want them to have the same opportunities that I've had in this business, which were, to fix my broken house, to get my second vehicle on the road, to buy myself a dishwasher, to like be able to travel at will. Like, all of these things don't have to go back to my full-time job. When I see somebody else struggling, I'm like, yes, I'm like, you need this business. So that's been something to just keep an eye on your newsfeed. So of course we are going to get referrals as well from our HAPs. So you're going to get the occasional distributor HAP up on people's wall that said, anyone looking for a part-time or full-time income, et cetera, et cetera. But when you message your host asking them to post that, you can always ask them, do you know anyone? Does anybody come to mind? Do you need an extra income at the same time? Because a straight referral can be really helpful. And that person is like, hey, wait a minute. I was just talking to so-and-so last week, and they said they're getting laid off from their job. And next thing you know, you've got like a straight direct lead from somebody who happened to be chatting with you just to share a post for you. Okay, so one of my most favorite places to get distributors from is people who already love and use the products. Okay, so these are our Perks members. These are our customers, previously our loyal customers. These are the people that have put their faith in us and our products, who have been willing to try to get their own results. And they have fallen in love with our product. They're talking about it. They're telling their friends. They're sharing posts for us every month. Those people are so enthusiastic about this business that they should be doing it with us. They have the network, they have the results, they have the experience, and they want to tell their friends and family about it. So you should absolutely offer those people the opportunity. And that is what many of my teammates who started out as customers, they are amazing at this business because they have their own personal testimony to share, and they are excited about it. Like, look at Shannon J, for example, who started as one of Jessica Cook's customers and fell in love with the product and only ever wanted to start to make a little bit of extra money. And she absolutely went crazy in this business. And part of that is because she has a passion for the products. She believes in the products. She loves to recommend them to people and share them with people. And that passion shows through everything that she does in this business. And so distributors that love those products, they're great. Also, potential customers are a great person, great people to offer this opportunity to. So, I'm sure you've heard a bazillion times, if you've been doing this business for a bit, that, they want these results so badly, they want to use these products, but they can't afford it. And that is such a thing. You know, I don't know if I would fork out the money, honestly, if I wasn't doing this business and stuff. Like it can get expensive. And I don't know if I would have the disposable income if I wasn't doing this business to be working on health and wellness goals by using a supplement. So whenever somebody says to me, you know, I'm really interested in the gummies and I'm really interested in the Thermophyte X, and I'm like, awesome. Okay, here's how much it costs. And they're like, oh my God, what? And they're like, you have to do how many months? And I'm like, wait. I'm like, listen, I'm like, it's okay, because guess what? Your distributor kit is only $129. You get a bottle of Thermophyte and a bottle of gummies, plus your website, plus your license to sell. You can start making that money back right away and use these products on social media to promote yourself, promote your results, and get your own results from them. So, and I always like try and approach this. Like, I don't know if you've ever done anything like this before. I certainly hadn't, but like, this is an amazing opportunity for you to get the results you're looking for and also use the products while making extra money. And then you were not going to have to worry about paying for your products because they're going to pay for themselves. You're going to be able to earn one of our, you know, weekly bonuses, our new system set up, which is the quick start system. You can earn more than your initial investment back in your first week. If you jump into this business and you're willing to be coachable and you're willing to do some tasks each day and be consistent, you know, messaging people, you can earn that back in your first week. And our bonuses are paid weekly, which is amazing. And exactly that, Jessica, you don't have to do the 3-month commitment. You get this amazing opportunity and you've got your distributor discount. And, you know, there's no pressure, there's no contract, there's no quota, there's nothing that says you have to do this certain amount of stuff to be a distributor. So that's a very attractive option for a lot of people that are concerned about finances and stuff. Obviously, a lot of our leads are going to come from our content. Okay, that's something that we want to be very consistent with. So, like you've probably heard before, our content is like our open side. So, hey, we're open for business today. I'm still here. I'm still relevant. I'm on your newsfeed. And, you know, you're going to have those people that watch you every single day. They're like, I wonder what Jessica's doing on her story today. Let's check it out. And oh, look, she's posting about Jamaica. Okay, that's pretty cool. Oh, wait, she's making her coffee now. I've seen her do this every day for the last 3 months, but I'm going to watch it again because I find it super interesting. And oh, look, there's some kind of message about how she can make money from her phone and she can do all this stuff on social media. And so next thing you know, you've got this like following of people after, you know, you start doing this business consistently and you're messaging and you're adding and you're getting up haps and all that stuff. And those story views are some of the best people to reach out to because you're going to see those names pop up over and over again. And you're going to be like, you know what? How come I haven't messaged this person yet? They've been watching me now for like 2 months. I better send them a message and be like, hey, I noticed you saw my story about my income opportunity. I'd love to share some info if you'd be open to that. Very quick, very to the point. You don't have to force anything. And they will often either say yes, or they'll say no, or they will not respond. And we just go with it. Sometimes, you know what? If someone watches my story over and over for several months on end, and I messaged them before and they haven't responded to me, I'll message them again. And that's because I'm not going to give up on somebody who is clearly interested, but maybe is too shy to say yes. Maybe their circumstances have changed in the last few months and something is different today. And they might say, you know what, send me some info. And that has happened to me before many times. That's how I joined this business. You know, Shannon J, she messaged me to ask me to post for her. And I was like, no. Actually, I've ghosted her. So I didn't even say no. I said no in my head, but I didn't respond. And then she just like occasionally would like, you know, niggle her way in, but I kept watching. And then one day she like threw me that, you know, potential influencer message. And I was like, what? It's like me? And I was like, maybe I'll reply and see what this is all about. So you just never know. Don't count anybody out until they tell you, no, leave me alone, or they block you, which does happen. And that's okay. We have billions of people on social media that we can reach out to. And if someone has good boundaries and they can straight up tell you, no, I am not interested, then you do not have to follow up with those people moving forwards because they've straight up told you. But if they can't tell you that straight to it, it's because something might be niggling away at them. They might still secretly be interested. So you got to check in. So we post about the opportunity as well on our page. This is something that's great because it doesn't come across as producty, spammy. We can talk about our day-to-day lives in an opportunity post and just share what we do, why we do it, what it's allowed us to do in our lives. So, maybe I get to spend my day at home with Grace, my daughter, who would normally be in a daycare by now, and I'd be back at my full-time job if I wasn't doing this. So I can post, a picture of her and I, and me and Grace went to the park today, and I'm so grateful because I have this business. And and Melissa is saying, what's your favorite opportunity reach out message? So that is a great question. We have tons of amazing messages in boards, in the Go-Getters board. So I know Jessica likes to pull up her thing. But in the Go-Getters board, we have lots of DT messages in the folder labeled DT. And then you can go into like posts, stories, stuff like that, direct messages. There's also some great messages in the Everything Haps folders on how to turn hosts into distributors. And then I personally just honestly offer this opportunity to like as many people as I can. And that message is going to change every time I do it because there are so many different places that I'm seeing people who could use this opportunity that it's not going to be the same every time. And that's why we have all these different messages to choose from in boards. So if you're kind of new and you're not sure where to find this stuff, just reach out to your enroller after, because they can help guide you through boards to find these messages, and they are extremely helpful. So now that we've gone over kind of about where do we find distributors, I'd like to kind of touch base a bit on following up, because you're not going to sign a distributor in the first conversation necessarily. You're always going to have like that one person in every, 50 messages that has said they want info that happens to be like, yes, I'm going to sign up today. Let's do this. It does happen, but to be fair, you do have to follow up quite a bit. So I usually touch base with somebody either the next day or the day after. And if it's the day after, it's because I'm really, really busy. It's not because I don't want to. Jessica, do you have something to say? I thought you had your hand up. Maybe I'm.
Oh, no, I was just. No, okay. I was scratching my neck. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so let me just get back to Rose. Okay, so 1 to 2 days. First day, I want to be in their inbox the next day that I've offered this opportunity to people, because like they might be uncertain, they might be scared, they might be wondering. And when I sent that initial message, they might ghost me and leave me unread, and that's okay. People read it and they're like, wait, what? So I always like kind of touch base and just be like, hey, I'm here. What questions do you have for me about this opportunity? Usually we do our chat once a week on Thursday nights. So if we have one coming up, I'll be like, there's some really great voice notes in our opportunity chat that you can listen to that really delve into how we make money, what we do in this business, what it's done for people and other leaders on my team, just so that people have a chance to hear all of the different facets of this business. Or I'll add them into the previous week's opportunity chat, but then I stick with them, right? Because you don't want to just add them in and just be like, hey, bye. You want to add them in. You want to explain to them. They want to scroll to the top of this opportunity chat. They want to press play and listen. And then you want to touch base with them again in like 15 to 20 minutes. What questions do you have for me after hearing that? After hearing that, What reasons do you have for not wanting to start your business today? Like, throw them at me, basically. So I'll follow up that frequently. Then if I don't hear back, I'll check in a week later, whether it's on the opportunity night or it's on follow-up Friday. If they do get added into the opportunity chat when it's happening live, I also make sure to touch base the day after, or if not, the night of, if possible. Depending on what time zone you're in when it's happening. If it's happening really late at night, sometimes it's hard to get into that conversation at nighttime, but yeah. And then if they answer my messages, guess what? They're getting another message from me the next day, because we're now having a back and forth conversation. So we're going to keep talking. We're going to keep that conversation alive. I'm going to keep giving them some experiences that I've had with this business. I'm going to keep asking them what questions they have for me and answering those questions. If they don't respond to me, I'm going to go check back with them in a couple of weeks. So give them a bit of time to stew on it, and then touch base again a couple of weeks later. And again, no answer, month end. I'm going to do a nice big follow-up before the end of the month to let them know that I have some spots available on my team for the following month coming up, and that I want to help mentor them to make that extra income. And then again, if there's no answer, we're going to go maybe 1 month, maybe 2 months. Sometimes I just kind of like gauge it based on how many times I've already followed up with them, how often they're responding. You know, I don't want to be too much of a pain in people's butt if they're honestly so busy that they can't respond to any of my messages. That is fine. And if I don't hear back after 5, 6, 7 follow-ups, I'm going to ask them if they're still interested or if they want to be taken off my follow-up list. And if they don't answer me, they're still on my follow-up list, and I'm going to keep following up with them. And you know what? You never know who's going to finally say yes. So I have had multiple distributors that I offered this opportunity to like 8 months ago, who I followed up with religiously every month, and they like often never responded to me. And finally, you know what? When they really want that extra income, they're going to be coming into your inbox. They're going to be like, you know what? I'm ready today. I'm going to do this. Or you're going to hit them up on the right day and they're going to be like, you know what? I really do want to give this a try. So it is important to follow up. Now, something that we might go over a lot in this business is overcoming objections. Okay. So you're always going to get objections in any kind of, you know, sales type business. People are going to object because they're people. They have questions, they have reservations, they have stuff going on in their lives. And, you know, sometimes it can sound really, really good to people. And they're like, how can this be? You know, I remember when I used to watch Shannon on Facebook, she would always be posting about these giant bonuses. And I was like, this cannot be a thing. There is no way that this girl is making this money on social media, doing the stuff that I'm watching her do every day. Like, how could this possibly be a thing? So you're going to get those objections, right? And that's why we've got the scripts that we have, again, in the Go-Getters board and in Diamond Dreamers board, overcoming objections. They're usually in, I think they're in the DT folder as well. And basically, it's different circumstances that top leaders like Jessica, like Shannon, you know, things that have happened over and over. They're very common things that people have come up when they're thinking about starting their business. And you can give them, you know, an appropriate response based on that by going into boards. So yeah, if you have any objections that you commonly get, drop them in the comments. And as Jess said, you know, we can go over some of those common objections at the end. Knowing the most common objections and being prepared to answer them with honesty is really important. So sharing your own personal experience in the business is always going to be valuable. And if you're new and you're still trying to figure that out, you can share the experience of your enroller or somebody else that you've met in this business as well. You can ask them, and they will be more than willing to share their experience and, to help you. That's what we're here for. So I share my own experience a lot of the time through voice notes. I find it to be more personal. I think that it makes it so that the person understands that you're an actual person. You're not just like typing messages to them, or it might seem sometimes like they are scripted messages, because they are. So like, it is important for us to show these people that we are actual people with real experience in this business and share that with them. So voice notes are great for that. And going into those conversations, so if you're offering this opportunity to people, go into those conversations with confidence, right? Like, the best way to gain confidence in this business is to learn about it and to do that self-development and to do the network marketing development. Learn about network marketing. What is it? You might be really new to this, and that's okay. And nobody expects you to be a master of this craft, right? You have endless learning potential. You can be looking at different books. You can be looking at podcasts, YouTube videos, watching other leaders, following people on social media. Learn as much as you can about network marketing and about our specific compensation plan and business, so that when people bring up questions that are totally out of left field, you might have the answer to them. And if you don't, guess what? You've got lots of leaders that you can reach out to with a screenshot, and you can be like, hey, guess what? Somebody said some random thing that's totally, I've never heard this before. Have you ever come across this? And chances are they have, but if they haven't, you know what? They might have the experience to help you answer it. So, and I do that all the time. I always like sending voice notes to like Jess and Shannon, being like, okay, this person said this, like, what do I say to that? That's really random. So your learning doesn't end just because you've been in the business for years on end. You always have somebody to look to learn from. And when you know our compensation plan, the current bonuses that we have on, the current incentives that we have running, and you have a good way of explaining that to somebody, then you're going to be able to jump into a voice note really easily and make it super simple for them to understand without going like crazy about, with our previous system, tier 1, tier 2, this, that, like using a bunch of lingo that they don't understand. No, you just want to make it simple and easy for them to get, so that they know how they're going to make that money and that it's possible. So when one of the most common objections that I get, like honestly, very frequently, and this can be because of the networks you're in, guys, like you have to expand your network in this business, and it takes time. It's not something that happens overnight. It takes daily adding and daily haps and all that stuff to grow in this business. But something that I get all the time in the networks that I'm in is that someone can't pay the startup. They do not have the money. They cannot afford it. There's no way to get that money, they say, right? And this is a very, very common objection that I get. So I just wanted to go into that a bit more, just in case you guys also experience this. So I've done a few different things to overcome this objection because it is so common. I know that there are people out there that have asked, why don't you try and sell some stuff on Marketplace? Or why don't you have a yard sale? Or, there's lots of different ways to like make a few extra bucks to set aside, save up your money for, a couple of months, cut back on your coffee money, whatever you can do. If this means a lot to them, then they will find the money and they will find a way, right? But if they're slightly hesitant and very financially insecure at the time, which I've been in that exact position many times in my life, like there would be no way that you'd be willing to spend that money out of your pocket without knowing that it's going to be returned to you. So this is where, again, this compensation plan really comes in to be helpful, because you can explain that we are paid weekly and we're paid monthly, and we can also make daily income by selling samples. So with all of those 3 different ways that we have to make income, aside from our bonuses and whatever that we might be working on, you can reassure them that you're going to be with them every step of the way. You're going to be there one-on-one with them to help them message their potential people, to help them grow their network, to help them make those sales so that they also are going to make that income. Something that I've done very like occasionally is if I know the person really well, I've actually offered to cover the cost of their startup and they pay me back when they get their first bonus, because I'm that confident that I can help them earn that first bonus. I'm that confident that they are dedicated to learning about this business and that they want to go in. Not everybody has the means to do that. I've only been able to do that because of this business. So it's not something that's expected from you, and it's not something that you have to do. But I just wanted to share that that is something I have done, and it has helped me overcome that objection before. We do something called pre-selling, and this used to be a bit easier back in the day. Because we had different startup kits that came with a lot of like sample pack type stuff. So like greens, coffee, stuff that you can easily sell sample packs at. And we'd sell, 5 greens for $20 or 3 coffees for $20. And you could actually recruit your friends and family to buy these sample packs from you before you even get your kit. And now you've pre-sold your entire startup kit. You've got the money, you order it. And then when that step arrives, you give those sample packs to your people and they're happy and you're happy. And now you've got your website up and running. Now with the current kit that we have, that's the cheapest one, which is $129, we get the gummies and the Thermophyte. And we can still do this with gummies and Thermophyte, but it might look a little bit different because sampling those is honestly, in my opinion, just a little bit different. People often want to sample the gummies, and it might be because they want to know what they taste like. Okay, they're scared that they are going to order 2 bottles of gummies and be like, these are gross, I don't want to eat them. So that's a great opportunity for you to get them to try the gummies and be like, oh, these are actually really good. Then the Thermophyte, some people are very like caffeine intolerant, and maybe they want to test the Thermophyte out to see if it makes them jittery or if it affects them. So again, those are the kinds of people, but those 2 groups of people are niche groups. Okay. So they're specific groups of people that are going to be willing to sample those products. So instead, something that I've started doing with distributors or potential, distributors is I've asked them to share a post on their wall for me. And then when their network starts responding to this and they're like seeing all of the people that are interested in this product on their wall, they're like, holy crap, like what do I have to lose to set up my website so that these people that are showing interest get their orders in right away? They see that potential in their own network and they're like, ready to make that first bonus. And I've just found that really helpful when somebody is concerned about making that money back. I've also done like almost like training a distributor with someone who isn't even signed up as one yet. So I will help them with conversations when they haven't even signed up with me. They haven't even gotten their website up and running. I'm like, send me a screenshot. What did your mom say? What did your, neighbor say to you about this? And then I give them the response back, and suddenly they've got interest, and I'm willing to help them with these potentials, because realistically, they originally were going to share a post for me, right? And I was going to be the one sending those messages to those people. And I was going to be the one that's going to be closing those sales with those people. So if I can just be like the conduit kind of and stick it through them, then they're going to be the ones that see the potential, and they're going to be the ones that make those sales. And then they're like, oh crap, I don't even have my website set up. How do I put through these sales? And I'm like, well, don't you know, you're going to be signing up as a distributor right now, and then you're going to have your website up and running, and then you can get those sales put through right away. So yeah, you can also take the gummies and the Thermophyte in the starter kit and sell those full size products too. So something that a couple of people I know have done is that they have been able to go to like a friend or a family member who's interested in trying the products and been like, hey, I'm ordering this. It's coming in my startup kit. I will give you the whole bottle of gummies to get you started. And then that person ends up being one of their first customers because they fall in love with the product. Another way that I help when someone says they can't pay is I explain to them how I've made money personally in this business by sharing real, tangible, like figures with them. I will be like, look, I made X amount of money in my first month, and that's because of this, this, and this. Then the following month, I made this much money, and that's because of this, this, and this. And I've explained it to them straight up, no holding back. If you do these things, you absolutely have the potential to do this too. It is open to all of us. We all have the same starting point. And just because, you know, you've made it to a specific rank in this company means absolutely nothing, because you've had to start where we've all started. And it just takes consistent effort. That's all it is do more of the same things. So when you can be confident in that, and you know the potential that this business has, then you're going to be able to talk to somebody and show them that with real stuff, like your own experience. People love hearing your own experience. And, you know, just explaining that I'm here with you one-on-one. I want you to succeed. And, you know, I wouldn't be putting this time and effort into these conversations if I didn't genuinely want them to succeed. You know, network marketing is where it's at. This is the business to be in if you want to make the money. And if you want to be able to have time freedom, and if you want to be able to spend time with your kids and, you know, do all the things, all the reasons why you might have gotten into this business, there are like limitless potentials here. And wanting to share that with people and making sure that it comes across as genuine to those people is important, because if you don't believe in what you're doing, you're not going to be able to showcase that to other people. So you got to have the vision. You got to like really think, why did I start this business? What is it that I'm working towards? And you need to project that into other people and show them by living what you're talking about. So I think that's pretty much all the notes that I have on this. But I think Jess might have some stuff, maybe about some stuff.
I do. I was writing stuff down as you were talking. And it's funny that you said, you know, casting that vision, because I know we've been doing self-development, and everyone that I've been talking to on our team is saying vision, 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 which is so true. So I'm just going to kind of piggyback on some of the things that Jill said. One is, you know, starting that first conversation and coming in with something genuine is so important. Oh, you're just so gorgeous and like there's certain messages that I don't send to people. If someone comes to you and gives you a genuine compliment, you're like, oh, thank you. You know that it makes you feel good. So going in and starting the conversation with something genuine. Hey, I checked out your page and I just noticed like your posts are so positive. You're super social. You know, you've got a great following. You're really personable. You know, I see such potential in you, XYZ. That's just a great starting point. And then you said that starting with the small things. So I remember Jill was like, I got a dishwasher, and she was so excited that she got a dishwasher. Okay, so you don't need to be you know, someone who is promoted Ruby, Diamond, you know, a big income earner. For those small things, for someone who needs a dishwasher, that sees that they're like, dang, she has a dishwasher. If you've never been without a dishwasher before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So hitting all those small things, maybe you just started and you're like, I talked to someone today. I'm so excited. I had a conversation with a mom that's going through XYZ, and just sharing that you talked to somebody. It can be that you helped your first customer and you're really excited to help them with their health goals because of XYZ. Maybe you got your first bonus and it's going towards some kind of small thing, a birthday gift. You're using it towards gas on your trip. Small things that people are like, I can't go on a trip because it costs me too much money. So I want to talk content. I'm a green personality, so I love the little details and Posting, just like Jillian said, you've got to be consistent showcasing what we have to offer, because posting is a form of follow-up. When you're in that person's line of vision all the time, they're seeing you. There's Jessica making her coffee again. There's that trip. There's her with her kids. There's this. All the time I'll get messages from people. I'll be like, oh man, I work in an office job and I see you outside playing with your kids all the time. Like, I want info. Or I see you going on these trips all the time and I just can't afford it. I want info. So it's more like hitting those pain points that we talk about. Like, our prompt today was past, present, future. Where were you stuck before, as a kid, as a teenager, as a young youth, now? And what are you changing? What made you decide to change in your future tense as well? And some topics. So I know that for me, I would just think about, what the heck am I going to post today? There's a couple of things. F words, if you guys want to write this down, on Monday, we talk about freedom, because people, that have to wake up to an alarm to go to work and want the long weekend, all those things. So the freedom of time, where's your office? You're talking about the friendships. Maybe you're talking about someone on your team, the finances. Every Thursday, we talk about bonus day. We do a trip Tuesday. So the fun side of it, there's so many different appealing aspects of what we have to offer outside of just the income as well. Now, I know that I shared my boards link in the chat. I just wanted to show you guys, because I know, again, when I was new, if you're someone who's new, or maybe you have a distributor who's new, I can tell normally when someone on my team aren't signing distributors, because my first two things that I do is I go to their page and I scroll down. How many times did they post about the business this month? And normally it's like 3 times the whole entire month. So my homework to you is to go and scroll down your page and look to see how frequently you share about the opportunity. And just being honest with yourself. And same Shannon, she's like, I'm having a really hard time signing distributors. This was like back in the day. And I was like, how many distributor messages are you sending out? We can't just post and wait for people to come to us. And she was like, I don't know. I'm like, well, if you don't even have a number, like a bare minimum number each day, then that's where you have to start. Can you share your boards again? Yeah. So I will put that in the chat, and then I'm going to share my screen, because I literally have hundreds of posts loaded for resources that you can utilize. So I know some days I don't know what to post. You can just go in here and snag one. So when you go into the Go-Getters board, under Posting 101, right there, there's a business post section, and there's a layout for that past, present, future. There's prompts if you want to write your own post. And then look, there's so many business posts in here. You can literally like go and have like for the whole year, I feel like. And normally what we do is we take that post, personalize it, always put you in there, and then cut it up and put it in your story with a photo. That way, when people slide through your story, they're getting your, they're getting your story in your slides as well. Definitely the most effective. That's just like a little thing that popped up. And then right beside it, there's Stories 101, and in here there's opportunity stories as well. So you guys can use some of those slides. Let me click this off. Okay. And I love how you said, Jill, when you're messaging people, say about like a host, that's usually where I get the main part of my potentials is for the hosts. You guys, I know a lot of people like host to post doesn't work for me. Even if you're getting the hosts to post and there's no likes and comments, if you're getting up 5 to 10 posts a day, you are offering that opportunity to the host, and you can sign distributors just from asking the people who post, even if their post is not effective. And then Jillian, you said, do you, would you or anyone you know be interested? Because then you've planted that seed. And even if they can't think of anyone on the spot, maybe they're talking to their girlfriend that's like, oh my gosh, I'm struggling with income. And they're like, I actually know this girl, so that they know that you're offering it to more than just one person. And when I originally wrote my notes down, we think so similar, because you're like customers, getting your customers to become distributors is where it's at. Oh my goodness. So many of my customers become distributors. Ashley Mayfield, I think she's top 10. She says, treat customers not like a $10 commission. You know, we're like, oh, we want that perks member bonus. Okay, we got that another LC. We get 65 bucks. She was like, treat them as someone who can potentially make you thousands of dollars. One, because if you take care of your potential customer, you follow up with them, make sure they got their product, you check in on them, making sure they're getting results. Do they want to add, switch anything? You're giving them that customer service. They know they can depend on you. They're seeing your posts. They love the product. They're like, okay, this just like makes sense with, you know, what I've got going on. And then even if they don't become a distributor, they will refer you customers and distributors just from you doing that. So literally they could send you a distributor that could be your next diamond and could earn you thousands of dollars. They could be your next ambassador diamond. You know, you never know. So Shannon was my first. Shannon, I asked her to host a post for me. She hacked, became a customer. I offered her the business opportunity. So that's just like, it just goes to show. And for myself, you guys, just like Jillian said, ask your customers before they before they enroll about the distributor option. That's how I got started. I wanted the wraps. Before, the kits only used to have the wraps. That was the only option. And my girlfriend was like, you can get the wraps as a customer at the discount, or you could get the wraps at the discount as a distributor and make money at the same time. They're exactly the same. Which one sounds good to you? And I was like, oh, I asked a bunch of questions, but I was like, okay, you know, I'll try it out. Probably took a little bit more convincing than that. It took me like 3 months of thinking, but I never give up on the follow-up. So posting is a form of follow-up. Okay, what else did I write on my notes? I just want to, I'm going to end in the self-development, but I just want to make sure you covered so many of the things I was going to talk about. So I was like, okay. So I just wanted to go through the customer conversation, or sorry, the potential distributor conversation, because I know for me, that's where I got stumped a lot. I was like, okay, like how do I approach this? So in that Go-Getters board, and you guys can feel free to use this as well. So, oh, what did I just press? Oh, I pressed on the Zoom. So under that posting one-on-one I showed you, there's this DT folder right here, and there is the distributor messages, but also that distributor conversation and script. So my scripting is here. However, I always think of it like a date. So when I'm talking with that potential distributor, like Jillian said, we're talking to a potential business partner. So building that relationship, normally I'm like, hey, you know, thank you for checking out my story about XYZ and making income. You know, could you benefit from an extra income and would be open to info? Hey, thanks for, you know, the love on my post about me and my girls at the park. I'm not sure if you could use an extra income, or if you know anyone, would you be open to info? Say like short, sweet, just asking the question. When they say yes, that script is there, the initial like, this is what we do, and it's kind of just laid out. Does that sound good? You want them saying yes. You want them affirming the yes. But as soon as I send that first blurb and they're like, yeah, sounds good. If they don't ask a question, I say, okay, great. So tell me a little bit about you. Do you have an idea of how much that you want to earn per month? And get them talking about themselves, because normally they'll tell you their why. Tell me a little about you. You know, how much a month would, you know, benefit you. And I want them to tie their why to the reason why that they're starting this. And then I have something to relate with them with about like my story. Like Jillian said, always good to share your personal experience. My personal experience was slow. My first like 4 months in the business, I didn't use social media. So I sucked at this. My first paycheck was $27. So I normally don't lead with that. I lead with, this is the potential of how much you can make and the compensation plan. But I have a video that I made. You guys can use it. So in that script, normally I'm like, tell me a little bit about you. They do, I relate, and I say, oh, perfect. I actually have the short video that I made that goes over what we offer, what we do, what I show people, and how we earn income. Did you want me to shoot it to you? And you can take a look. And then they can see my face, okay? So you can use my video if you want to. If your leader has one, use it. You can recreate your own video if you want to. And it kind of goes over everything on there. And then following up, hey, I want to check back. Any questions about that video? Is it sounding good? And normally we'll walk through any objections. Where is your video? So right in that distributor folder, under the distributor conversation, it's the YouTube video pinned right at the top. And that's what I send my DTs. So potential distributors. What else was I going to say? So the objections, the overcoming objections, I'll hit on really quick because I have a method that I heard from Amber Parker, and it's like gold. I use it so often. It's not even funny because everyone has a reason why they're nervous to not start this business. So I'm going to scroll up in the chat to see what you guys said your most common ones are. I don't have the time. So if anything, take this away from the Zoom. It's called the feel, felt, found, find the solution.
Jess, you're frozen.
I thought it was just mine for a second.
Where'd you go, Jessica?
I think Jessica's thing has frozen. So I'll try and message her.
Okay.
Let's just see if I can. She probably knows, but maybe she doesn't. We'll just check. So guys, while we're doing this, throw some more objections in the chat. And then at least we have some more stuff for her to choose from when she comes back. This happened during Power Hour the other day. I took a screenshot and I put it in my story. And I was like, Jessica froze during Power Hour, and I was sad. And I was like, it's so good. It was so good.
I saw that. That was so funny.
Funny faces that come.
Oh, poor Jess. Okay, well, I sent her a message saying you're frozen. So let's see what other kind of objections we can come up with while she's frozen here. I don't want to spend money. I don't have guarantees it will work. That is definitely a good one.
Jillian, did you just get highlights done?
Yeah, it's my hair is wet still.
They look really pretty. I just thought I'd share that.
Thank you. Yeah, my hair is wet, so I'm gonna go style it after and tone it. But yes, I had to leave my hair appointment early because I had this, so I like rushed in the door and I was like, ah. Ooh, that's a good one, Nicole. I've done this before. I've heard that one many times. Or I've tried the products and or I've tried it works before. I've done network marketing before. I already do network marketing. That's another one.
My cousin did it and it didn't work for her. And it's just like, yeah. But I always throw it out there. Are you your cousin? Not like that, but you know what I mean? Like, or we can show you how, like, our team's successful and da-da-da-da. We have all the training and the steps, right? So, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I see Jess.
I'm here. My phone lost connection, but thankfully I logged on my or my computer lost connection, but I'm here on my phone.
We were just brainstorming some more objections.
Yes. So you guys can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay? Okay, perfect. So the one objection that was on there was a scam or a pyramid scheme. So again, you guys, feel, felt, found. I totally know how you feel. I felt the exact same way, especially because there are so many different past experience that people have had with things online. But what I found is that so many people are switching to online shopping, and regular storefront businesses are closing. And this is going to be the legitimate way to, to purchase and to own a business. The solution part. If I could send you the article that we were featured in Forbes and in Direct Selling Magazine, so you could do your own research and know that it was legitimate, would that be something that could benefit your decision or something along those lines? Let's see the chat. I think I went over, don't have enough time. So I've done this before. I'll do 2 more. So I've done this before. I totally know how you feel. I think there's a lot of experience in life that are like tried, and the good thing is that what I found is that we always try again. And just in the way that social media has changed, I've been doing the business for 7 years, you guys, so like I can really reference this. In the 7 years that I've been doing the business, I've found that it's changed so much. We have reels, we have lives, our products have been upgraded, our compensation plan has been upgraded. And we've obviously still been having and soaring in our success. If I could give you the training, which I'm not sure if you've had before, that we do now so that you could have that success, would that be something that you could benefit from? If it's a different company, I've done direct sales or marketing before, I might ask them a little bit about it, because normally it's the enroller, their trainer, their systems that they didn't have experience, so hopefully your leaders or upline have those systems in place where you can kind of dig a little bit deeper into what their, experience might have been. Where is the article? So even if you go to It Works Forbes, I think you can find it. And there is a post under the Posting 101 that has that direct sales article in it, because there's a post I made up about it. Too busy. No one of my friends on my Facebook are into stuff like this. Perfect. We don't want to have to sell to our friends and family. And I felt the exact same way because I didn't want to be pushy, but what I found is that there are millions of people out there on social media. If I could show you how to get out content past your friends and family into other networks, so people who are interested will come to you and ready, would that be something that you're interested in? Okay, so feel, felt, found, find that solution, overcome that objection. On that note, I don't convince people who are coming at me with like solid, like broken mindset, they're not having anything of it, because sometimes people just can't be convinced. You're going to have to convince them to work. It's different when you're overcoming a feeling and you can help them have that courage. That's different. If someone tells me that they can't afford it, I don't want to say that I love it, because I know that the struggle is real, but at the same time, I love pre-selling because it weeds out the people who aren't serious about the business. And I mean that in like the best possible way, because I don't want to waste their money. I don't want to waste my time. So if they're like, I just can't afford it, totally know how you feel. That is okay. I actually have an option. You can pre-sell the start for free. Would that be something you're interested in? I straight cut to the point. Sure. What is it? Essentially, I help people do this all the time because, like I said, the struggle is real. I have a post pre-built. You put on your page, we'll see if it gets engagement. And in the meantime, we reach out to a couple people to see if they'd be interested in supporting you and just trying to sample. And I don't the X and route. I go the middle bundle, the 195, like the full commitment, because the coffee and the wraps are easier to sell, just like Jillian said. And those two alone will cover the cost of the startup pretty much. And then they can keep the gummy and the vitamin, because I want them to try the products. I want them to get the results. I don't want them starting their business and then not having anything left over other than the income. Like, I want them to try stuff too. So in that board that I told you, the distributor folder, go to the DT combo, and there's a whole other folder that is the pre-sell. And it's got the post I use, the message I use. Day number 1 is like basic in messaging. Day number 2, we're getting in, like, they're adding to their story with a poll, or like work in the business. Day number 3, they're hosting a post. They're getting their friends to post on their page about samples if they've already kind of blown up their own page about it. So I always tell them, like, when we're starting this, there's going to be a push. We're going to try to get it done in 3 days. So they know it's going to be a little intense. And normally the first day, if they're like, this is too much for me, then this business is probably not the best for you. So if they're like doing it, they send the messages, okay, next, awesome. Like I can tell that I want to work with you. You're going to do well in this. I want to help you be successful. Normally, if they get part of their kit pre-sold and they're like one away, I'll be like, I'll sponsor you the $20. You did the awesome job. Let me pay for the shipping and tax. So that's kind of my method to pre-selling. And then objections, we went over, pre-selling went over. Mindset, I know that for me, I was like, I don't want to message someone because what if they say no to me? I don't want to message somebody because I could get blocked. I don't want to message somebody because what if I'm bugging them? But honestly, you guys, and I know we're at the hour mark and I'm almost done. I'm just going to make some recommendations, but we're thinking about ourselves when we go into the conversation like that. We are really being selfish. What if that person's struggling so bad and your fears of what that might not actually happen, that you could just send them a message and you could literally change someone's situation. So whenever I go into messaging, I'm going into the mindset of like, I'm reaching out to this person because I think that they have a great page, that they're positive, that they're a mom, maybe they're struggling. Like, I want to see if I can help somebody because that's exactly what we're here to do. And in them starting their business, maybe they're going to be helping someone. Like there is just like a huge transformation of just starting one person that can do everything. And I know Shannon, I use as a reference a lot. There's so many people, like even if you sign one distributor, like you're helping someone and that's amazing. So keep doing what you're doing. And then the messaging, you guys, just send the messages. Okay, I know it's scary. Jillian and I both, we do our power hour. Let's rip off the Band-Aid, message our hosts, message the people who liked and commented and viewed our story, and then send some direct messages to fill our 10. We did it. Woo! And then if you want to do it again, do it again. But I am the exact same number as Jill. 10 a day or like 100 distributor messages will sign me 3 to 5. Always has in my 7 years. That's my consistent number. So I've got some recommendations for books. If you are struggling with a little bit of mindset, The Power of One More, get it. Listen to it on Audible. I just read it and I was like, you know what? I'm probably going to switch this to being one of my first distributor books that I recommend to my new distributors, because it just tells you to go for that one more ask, ask one person, that's great. You did it, do one more, okay? Second is the Closer's Survival Guide. Again, I just listened to it. Really, really good about knowing how to seal the deal. So if you want kind of scripting and your growth and confidence with how to talk to someone, have this conversation, the Closer's Survival Guide, and then Go for No is one of the first ones that I listened to. And it essentially is like, without those no's, there's no growth, and then you get the yes. So go for the no's and the yes is the reward. The messages is the hard part. The signing of the distributor is the reward for your hard work. So just like keep at it. Keep at it, you guys. That's all I have to say. And you're going to change lives and it's going to change your life. So that is all, I think.
Thanks, guys. That was awesome.
We appreciate you guys hopping on all the way to the end. This recording will be posted on my YouTube. Here, I'll put in the chat the books. Just one sec. This is the second book.
I'm so excited for those books. That's going to be awesome. I love getting book recommendations.
Power of One More. And they're my powerhouse speakers too. I think that's why that I really, really like them. The Survival Guide. And then this one is Go for No. Is the last one. My YouTube is Jessica Lee Cook.
Love it.
All right, ladies, I'll let you grab that out of the chat. And then I hope you guys have an amazing night. Thank you again. Bye, Jill.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.